They came to America seeking political and religious freedom, a small plot of land and a home they could call their own. In 1851, 240 of them joined together and formed the German Democratic Land Association. 3 years later, they purchased 140 acres for $16,000 from the Abraham Berry estate to build homes on a small village west of the Hackensack River. Each of the 240 members received 7 lots, 2 on the top of the ridge, 2 below the ridge, and 2 in the meadowlands. Each lot was sold for $10. Papers of incorporation were executed on February 24, 1854, and the village was named Carlstadt, after Dr. Karl Klein, a famous German revolutionary who was responsible for building the new community. The town grew steadily, in part due to its proximity to various railroad lines and being less than 6 miles to New York City. The pleasant suburb attracted immigrants seeking peace from crowded nearby cities. By the end of the Civil War, Carlstadt was a thriving middle-class community. A small school at the top of the hill was built that contained what is likely the nation's first kindergarten. As the town grew, our forefathers started construction on a large public school in 1865 on the site of the former Washington School, and where a beautiful park is being built today. The town continued to grow, and the old Washington School was filled to capacity by 1873. By 1880, plans were made for a second school, and it was decided by the townspeople that this school would be named after the recently martyred president, Abraham Lincoln. This building is the last of our historic structures and our last link to Old Carlstadt and our rich history. Completed in 1909, the year that the Lincoln penny was first introduced, Lincoln School still stands as a proud example of Carlstadt's working-class immigrant struggle for education and betterment. Today, the renovated school is the future site of Carlstadt senior housing, and it still stands as a continued example of the community of Carlstadt taking care of its own. As veterans came back from the First and Second World Wars, many settled here, building small private homes and preserving our middle-class character. Carlstadt today is a small, safe, clean, and stable community, free of urban problems that have destroyed other areas. Our streets are clean, paved, and plowed. Our homes are secure, and our neighborhoods free of crime. Our property values are stable, and homes sell for a premium price. Our parks are clean and manicured, and our recreation programs free and are among the best in the state. Our town has a small town feeling that makes Carlstadt unique. But all that could change. There's a lot at stake in this year's election, and it started 16 years ago with a proposal to build housing in our meadowlands. Housing that would accommodate over 20,000 people, much of it low income. Formerly known as the mini-city, current Mayor Will Roseman made it a campaign pledge that he would not allow Meadowlands housing. And over his past 16-year tenure as mayor, he has kept Meadowlands housing out of our community.
Hello, I'm Will Roseman, your mayor. I spent the better part of my life dedicated to this community and stopping change. I want this town to be the same town that I grew up in for my child as it was for me and my father before me. It's not that I'm against change in particular, but I'm against specific change and change that our opponents are proposing. Carlstadt is a small family community, and I don't want that to change. That's why I fought so hard to stop the Democratic proposed mini-city in our meadowlands.
Carlstadt is currently faced with the prospect of losing the community that we've all grown up in and the community that we love. What we're trying to do is fight the situation, and I know we'll be successful in doing that.
When I first ran for mayor, the former mayor and Paul Rizzo, who was councilman at that time, supported Meadowlands housing. Here it is 16 years later, and he's supporting it still. In fact, at a recent council meeting, Mr. Rizzo was proposing the benefits of having 20,000 people live in our Meadowlands area. How does that help our community? I can tell you with conviction that it doesn't. We're a small family community of approximately 6,000 people. It's the type of town where people look after each other's children and our neighbors. That's what makes Carlstadt the special community that it is. To allow 20,000 people to move into our Meadowlands, much of it low income, would have a disastrous effect on our town. It would be like Dickens' Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of time and the worst of time, with Carlstadt and our existing population getting the short end of the stick. Our current school, though new, couldn't possibly handle the influx of 20,000 additional residents. And now imagine every new park and every new improvement exclusively being built in the Meadowlands. With 6,000 people currently in our residential area and 20,000 people proposed in the Meadowlands, who do you think would control our community? That's one reason why I fought so hard for Carlstadt-only senior housing. We would love to have built senior housing on the old Washington School site, but with construction costs between $12 and $14 million, we couldn't possibly afford it without getting a grant. Getting a grant means that we would have to bring in outside people into our community. We believe strongly, and have always believed strongly, Carlstadt residents come first.
Preservation of our quality of life is the very foundation of the goals your Republican administration has fought for. Making sure that Carlstadt is an affordable community is yet another integral goal that they continue to champion.
We work hard to keep taxes low. It's not something that just happens. It's interesting because I hear our opponents are offering people jobs in an effort to procure votes, and I find that incredibly frustrating. When you're trying to control taxes and keep taxes stable, you don't have the option of handing out jobs left and right. Our Department of Public Works, they're the most cost efficient in South Bergen, as well as our police department. In fact, we have fewer employees today than we did 16 years ago. Every once in a while, a resident will approach me and say, my taxes have gone up. I understand their concern, but I'm also quick to point out that of their tax bill, less than 35% of it is controlled by the Republican mayor and council. That 35% includes your fire services, police services, emergency services, DPW, road and park improvement, senior services, and your recreation program. Basically, everything that affects your day-to-day life and your quality of life in Carlstadt. When you think about it, everything you get from Carlstadt is quite a bargain. The overwhelming majority of your tax bill, over 51% of it, is attributable to the schools. I'm very proud of what we have done here in Carlstadt, and I'm even prouder of looking out for the taxpayer dollar.
Carlstadt is known for its low taxes, but I believe Carlstadt is more than just that. I have family in Bergen County, and they tell me that Carlstadt is also well known for the services that it has. We have the best youth recreation program in Bergen County. Our coaches are experienced, and our facilities are modern. We offer programs such as baseball, softball, soccer, basketball, football, and cheering. Additionally, we have a summer day camp program that is absolutely free and provides healthy activities for the youth during summertime. Just as important, our streets are clean and our parks are well maintained. In fact, the current Republican administration doubled the amount of space and parks in our town. Something that truly means a lot to me is that our residential area is the safest in all of southern Bergen County. That means when my family is out, I know that they're safe and protected. I don't have to worry about them. All told, this is a great town and an even better community.
Carlstadt is Bergen County's best town. Affordable, safe, clean, and the best services offered by any Bergen County town.
Sure, our opponents are talking change. They've opposed the park on Washington Street, they've opposed our Carlstadt-only senior housing, and now they're opposing the revitalization of our business district. It just seems to me that change they're talking about are changes in the quality of life of our community. And these are qualities that make Carlstadt the special place that it is. No one's worked more diligently to make Carlstadt Bergen County's best town. It didn't just happen that way. We worked hard to make it that way.
This year in Carlstadt, there is a clear choice. A choice that preserves what's best about our community and keeps Carlstadt Bergen County's best town. Elect the team with the proven track record. Re-elect Will Roseman for mayor, Dennis Ritchie and Jim Lanoy for council.